Hello, welcome to Evolve with Natu. My name is Natu. In this channel, we talk about a lot of things, but particularly on self-improvement, self-development, lifestyle, and all other different topics. A friendly reminder, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. And make sure that you're sharing it with your family, friends, and all your loved ones. And also, if you haven't viewed our previous episodes, make sure that you do so. Today's episode is extremely special. It's with somebody that I admire immensely, somebody that I've always looked up to, my dear friend, my dear cousin. Well, she's not a cousin. I call her a cousin, but she's my aunt. Helen Mteti Mkwizu. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
So Helen and I have a little bit of a history. She's my dad's cousin, but because of the age difference between her, you're my dad's cousin, right? Yes, because of the age difference between her and I have opted to call her my cousin. But other than her being my cousin, she's also a lawyer. She has her own law firm. She's a partner at Hecon Associates. Helen, it's been a pleasure to have you here. And today I just want us to talk about your journey, how you became a lawyer, how you balance things as a lawyer with your personal life, any obstacles, challenges. So I'm going to be asking you different questions to cover all of that. So to start with, I know you. I've known you over the years, but the world doesn't know you. Who is Helen? How was your upbringing? And how did you get into law? Where did the story start and why law?
Well, I was born in Arusha, and I was raised in Arusha as well. Both my parents were educators. My mom, who passed away in 2000, was a teacher. God rest her soul in peace. My dad is a lecturer, but he's retired now. He used to teach at, he used to lecture at AIA, Arusha. And right now he still works on contractual basis because I think he really loves teaching. And that is something I'm sure, given a chance, he would have done it even for free. So he really loves it, and I think he's good at that too.
Okay.
Yeah. So looking at my parents' background, I think you can see that they had nothing to do with me becoming a lawyer because obviously they took a different path. But out of my personal interest in art subjects, I ended up pursuing law. The interesting thing is, actually, my dad did not want me to take on art subjects because he wanted me to do science subjects. But I somehow managed to convince him to allow me to take art subjects. So I told him, his biggest worry was if there's so much competition in arts, and if you don't get good grades, you may not get a chance to go to the university. So I sat him down and I was like, you know what, Dad? Allow me to take art subjects,
yes.
Because I promise you, I'll get good grades and I'll go to the university. So he was like, it's very risky, science subjects, there's so many opportunities for women and all that. But my thing was, I hated math. And I knew if I take science subjects, somehow down the line, I would have to sit for a math exam again. And I didn't want that. So I managed to convince him. And I'm glad he respected my decision and allowed me to pursue art subjects, which, landed me to legal. Of course, I did well. Then I got a chance to go to the University of Dar es Salaam, pursued law. Then I became an advocate, and the rest is history.
Brilliant. Well, you and I have a lot of things in common, other than the fact that you are my aunt. I also hated maths, even though I studied science. I absolutely hated maths, but I also had a dad who wanted me to pursue a career and become a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor too, but I veered into something else. But it's very important that we have supportive parents. You had that supportive background to become the person that you are. So that support led you to become a partner at a legal firm. So walk me through, why did you want to have a legal firm? Why did you want to become a partner? And most importantly, what have been your achievements in this journey, and what have been the obstacles being a partner in a legal firm or law firm?
Well, speaking of achievements, I don't think I have achieved a lot at this particular juncture, but I think I still have a lot that I am aspiring to achieve. But just being able to work for myself for the past 10 years and being able to earn a living as self-employed individuals, I think is such a blessing, because it's not something that was common or was expected of me, even around my peers, that you leave your job, you quit your job, and you start working for yourself. So looking back, I think back to your question about how I decided to start a law firm, is I was trained by the Big Four, famously known, the Big Four firms, which is, firstly, I started my career at Deloitte & Touche in Nairobi. And then later I came back home and then worked for Deloitte some more, Deloitte Tanzania. And then I moved to Ernst & Young. And all these two firms are the big consulting firms that are globally known. So I think the training that I got in those two firms played a major role in shaping the way I look at things, the way I look at client service, and everything that involves providing professional services. And I think it's that confidence that I gained from working for those firms that allowed me to believe that I could actually do that for myself, because I'm thinking, when I was working for the firms, it was purely me as a consultant within the firm, providing service to other corporate companies, for other companies. So I knew for a fact that if I start working for myself, it won't be anything different. It will just be a different setting and a different style maybe, but it will still be the same thing, the same practice. So that gave me confidence that I could do it myself, and I did. So I opened my firm, and then I started. And when I started, I can't say that I knew everything. The business side of things was a bit new to me, coming from a family where, we are not entrepreneurs, or nobody in my family is an entrepreneur. So I needed to be there and explore more about what is expected of me in the business world, as opposed to just being a lawyer who provides services to clients. That business side was a necessary evil that I needed to have. And I thank God, through the process, I was able to learn that.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned something very interesting. You were trained by the Big Fours, Ernst & Young and Deloitte & Touche. And it's my understanding that over the years, you acquired a lot of skills, a lot of expertise, particularly in tax, legal, and regulatory framework. When you were starting your law firm, how did you envision Hecon Associates to be a distinguished law firm compared to other law firms here in Dar es Salaam and in Tanzania? If somebody had to ask you, what makes your legal firm different? Why should we go to Hecon Associates?
I mean, clearly it's all about the quality of service that you give to your customers. You promise to deliver something, you make sure that you deliver. If you have a meeting, make sure you're there on time. Make sure that you listen to what your clients needs. If it means fighting for your clients' interests, whether it is at the negotiating table or it's in a court law, you make sure that you give your best. So for me, I think, as I said, being trained in an environment where things are done at a like very professional level helped me a lot to shape the way I handle clients. And this, I mean, it cuts across from, you know, selling the business, handling clients, like even staff, handling staff, recruiting the best candidates is all part of the whole package. And ultimately, quality delivery is the major component of it all. So I try my best to make sure that when I get an assignment from a client, I give them the best service that I know it will sell itself. Yeah. So for me, I think most of my clients I have are purely referrals from the previous clients that I have done work for, and I think that's it's the best feedback to have.
It speaks volume to the quality of service that you offer.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Now let's get into a bit of a personal aspect of your life. Helen is not just a professional. You also have other aspects of your life. Now, before I get into that, you have a very busy schedule. How do you attend that work-life balance, and how do you ensure that your associates, you guys work on billable hours, you work long hours, but you also want to make sure that you have that personal aspect? How do you balance the two? How do you marry your personal life and your professional life, and ensuring that there's that equilibrium?
I think it all boils down to managing time. And when it comes to managing time, you just really need to know your priorities. If you set your priorities right, it becomes pretty easy to know how you arrange your day from morning to evening. For example, if I have a meeting in the morning, I know that I need to be in the office at a specific hour. But then at the same time, if I have maybe a family thing to attend, all I need is to make sure that I have everything clearly scheduled on my calendar to make sure that I'm able to attend to everything at the right time and make sure that I execute it the way I should. For example, you know that I work out. And so for me to be able to keep up with my workout routine, I do my work. I go to the gym in the morning. Like I think 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm already at Planet Fitness, doing whatever it is that I'm doing on that particular day. And by maybe 7:30, I would leave and drive off to the office. By 8 o'clock, I'm already starting my day, feeling fresh and amazing. And that's how it works. But if sometimes I have something pressing and I need to be in the office earlier than 8, I would skip going to the gym in the morning. I do what I need to do in the morning, and then during lunchtime I do my workouts. So for those people who are my friends on Strava, I've had a few people asking me, how do you do your workouts at lunchtime? And I'm like, I'm just trying to balance time. If I need to get it done, it has to be done. Otherwise, if you don't have that kind of commitment, it's quite difficult to make sure that you manage your work, professional work, and
personal life.
Personal life.
Funny you should say about exercising, because you're my aunt and there's a good, I think, at least 5-year age difference. But when you look at us, you can't really tell the difference, because you're a fit life enthusiast. Now, tell me, when exactly did you discover that, you know what, Helen likes fitness? And how do you stay motivated? Because I'll be honest with you, I have my seasons, you know, when I go to the gym, I'm really, really good. Right now, I'm off my off season. Nakula chipsi, nafanya nini. How do you make sure that, because you've been on this fit life for a little while. So for somebody who is a lawyer like yourself, or somebody, a busy mom who doesn't have that motivation to work out, doesn't have the motivation to exercise, how did you get started with this journey, and how do you ensure that you stay motivated throughout the years?
I think my biggest motivation would be the fact that I know good health is not something that you can buy. So the only way you can earn that privilege is by living a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
and making life healthy choices. So if you are saying yes to a burger, it means you are saying
you have to get a burger in here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying yes to a burger, it means you're saying no to good health. You know, because you're going to gain weight and then you're going to struggle, and you know, so it's all about making the right choices. And I think it's never been easy for anyone. It's a constant struggle. You have to make it a lifestyle. I struggle with it myself because, I mean, food is delicious. We all know that. So
I'm a foodie, so
yeah, if you're a foodie, you know. So for you to be able to enjoy your meal at the same time, you know, being able to maintain a good health, you have to burn some calories. You can't just sit and eat a donut and say, I'm good. That donut is gonna be seen somewhere. So yeah.
So
That's what
you
keeps me
encouraged me to
motivated.
eat chapatis yesterday. You went to the gym this morning. Here I am. Okay.
It's not easy, to be honest. It's not easy. It's not for me. It's fun because I've been an athlete since when I was young. I used to run when I was in primary school. I stopped a little bit for a while. Then when I became older, I started doing it again. You know, you remember I used to run marathons, and then I felt like I'm losing a lot of weight. And my husband started complaining, hey, you're
Nyama zipo tu.
yeah, this is not healthy. You know, then I had to slow back and started doing gym workouts and those kind of exercise. So I do quite well at the gym as well. I do lifting as well.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I should probably come for tips. Now, speaking of extracurricular activities, you love exercising. You also have a professional life that you are there to. Are there any other extracurricular activities that, or initiatives rather, that you care for and that you partake in, other than obviously exercising and your daytime job?
I would say yes, but I do it on a smaller scale. I participate in charitable activities. For example, there's an orphanage that we've been supporting for a few years now, and I just decided to handle that very privately. It's not something that you would see, like we have posted pictures or anything, but there's a quite involvement in that because sometimes I go there with my family and my staff, and we get to mingle with those children, and we just make them feel loved and wanted. Another thing that we do is we provide educational support to underprivileged children. Of course, I don't have a lot of money, so I also do that on a very small scale, and just to see how those kids feel when they have that chance to be able to go to school and have proper uniform and everything catered for, it feels like it's the best thing to do. And with the little that you have, you feel like, you know, it's good to be a blessing or to be a good salt to the world, rather.
Amen. Amen. Now, we mentioned a lot of important things. One, caring for those in need, and I know it's something that you didn't want to publicize. While we're talking about caring for the people in need, you have an extensive experience in the legal field. You've been working for over the years now. I'm not going to put a name into it, but you're a renowned lawyer. You're renowned in your field. How do you impart more knowledge to people who are getting into this field? Or in other words, mentorship. How are you ensuring people who, one, are already in this field are equipped with the knowledge to continue being great? And for those who are maybe looking to get into the legal field, how are you making sure that you're mentoring them that they are in the right path to succeed?
At Hecon Associates, we do have an internship program, and this program is provided to students who are pursuing legal studies, and also those who have already graduated. Maybe they are in between going to law school and between finishing university and going to law school, and they are in the waiting. We provide those with an opportunity to work with us, and the program is limited to 3 months per candidate. Unlike most firms, for us, we don't look at it like them just sitting there learning. We make them work, so we pay them an allowance that just to make their stay with us comfortable. So they get lunch allowance, telephone allowance, and lunch, telephone, and transport. And on top of that, they also get their monthly
stipend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's pretty comfortable for someone who just is still in school or just finished school, and we think rewarding them like that makes them get that feel that, if I work hard, I could have a chance to, to get somewhere. And we also observe. We don't just give them a chance and then after 3 months they go. We observe them, those ones who look like they're doing a pretty good job, and we think they're cut out for what we offer. We reserve them to give them a chance to work with us in the future.
So you retain them.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Or even when they finish like law school, they come work with us.
Okay, that's good. I rarely hear the aftercare aspect of things. In our world, we call it aftercare. Normally, you just work for an internship. Your 3 months are done, off you go to the next thing. But I like that you guys, you train them and you also observe to see if you can offer them opportunity to grow further in the firm. Now, speaking of growing, you are a mother. You're also a wife. You have 3 brilliant children. What do you envision for them as far as personally and accomplishments professionally? You and your husband are very accomplished in your significant roles. What would you say are your visions or the dreams for the triple A's, as I like to call them? I don't want to put their names in public. Yes.
Well, I think I'm the kind of parent who does not want to dictate things for my children. I want them to have their own path and make their own choices. I would rather have them explore within themselves what it is that they want to do, because the world is changing, and what works today might not necessarily work tomorrow. And me, sometimes as parents, I think we put ourselves on a pedestal a lot of times, thinking that we know better. But sometimes, if you let your kids be themselves, they could actually surprise you. And I'm saying this not just for the sake of saying. I see this even now. You talk to them and you see they have a lot of information that we never had, or maybe we don't have. So what I think my role is as a parent is to provide guidance to them, to make sure that they see they see the right path and what they need to do, but not necessarily being very particular with that, like you should do this. No, they just need to understand that there's a certain path that they need to take, but they still have an option that they could either pick this or pick that in their own terms, because you don't want to end up with kids who have careers and they're miserable.
They're feeling unfulfilled.
Yeah, they're miserable because they're not happy.
Some people can say that. With typical African families, that we're having this conversation with my dad, and careers were doctor, an accountant, an engineer. But to your point, the world has evolved.
Yeah.
We have people who have skill sets that can be monetized.
Yeah.
We have people who are in the arts field, people who can pursue creative things that are fulfilling. And I'm glad that you have a renowned career in law, and your significant other also has a very renowned career, but you're very supportive of whichever dreams that your kids want to pursue.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of dreams, this is going to be my last question before we get to our rapid fire questions. What dreams do you have for Hecon Associates? What aspirations do you have? Where do you see yourself in the next few years in terms of growth, in terms of the reach that you're looking to acquire with the firm?
Well, the sky is the limit. I always say that. But looking at the business environment in Tanzania at the moment, I think there's a pretty good chance that we're going to do really great. I see ourselves like being a big name in Tanzania.
Household name?
Yeah. We have like very big plans within that. Of course, it's not something that I would want to speak. Yeah, but
in high level.
At the moment, I think all I can say is that I see ourselves becoming a very big name in the near future. So I'm very optimistic about everything that I see, the kind of clients that I serve right now, the kind of feedback that we get. So we use every feedback to make sure that we work towards providing services which are satisfactory to our clients. So that is how we manage to move forward. Yeah.
Now let's get to the fun aspect of this interview. Before we conclude the interview, I usually come up with the rapid fire questions. So the first question, if you had to pick a subject that you want to be affluent in, you want to master, and no, it's not in law because you're very affluent in that. So if you had to pick a subject that you're going to be really, really good at and you're going to be affluent, you're going to be a stellar, what subject would it be and why?
I think I'd be interested in emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence.
I mean, just being able to understand your emotions and those of others. I think it's a very powerful skill to have because it helps you communicate better. It helps you build relationships. It helps you do a lot of things in a very comfortable way. Business, work, family dynamics, and everything. Because when you're able, we are living in this world, and the world is full of people, and we all behave and act differently, and it's for different reasons. So if you're able to understand why things happen the way they do, and be able to master that skill very well, I think it makes you unstoppable in one or another. You know, when you communicate with your clients, when you communicate at home with your children, with your family, extended family, when you're communicating with staff in the office, it just puts you in an advantage position because you are able to be understood, and you're also able to be in other people's shoes and be able to feel how they feel and probably why, you know.
Interesting. I often hear people talk about like different skills. I want to master this, but rarely do I hear emotional intelligence. And you're absolutely right. I think being able to not only understand your emotions, but understanding the emotions of others kind of sets you apart as far as, especially in your role, you're dealing with a lot of people from different walks of life, different caliber. Now, speaking of people, this is a second fire, a rapid question. If you had to become a fictional character on a TV, pick a fictional character that maybe you admire, what fictional character will you pick and why? And it can be somebody in the legal field. I already have somebody in mind, but I'm not going to put the name in your head.
It's so funny that you've asked that question because I think the other day in my office, we were having a similar conversation, and I think I responded to something quite similar to that. And the interesting thing is, if we're saying maybe, for example, a fictional character in the law field, I would say Harvey Specter. And why Harvey Specter is because of his display of generally his charisma, which comes with the display of his legal acumen, you know, sharp wit and confidence. It's something that anybody who needs a good representation would be interested in having. So I will tell you this, if you talk to any litigant, they will tell you confidence is everything when it comes to, handling court cases and stuff like that. Because sometimes they win a lot of cases just by projecting that confidence to the opponent. The other side doesn't know what you have, and you come out too strong and confident the way he does and the way he portrays himself in his acting, and you see that how intimidating that can be to the other side. So I think that would be it.
Harvey Specter?
Yes.
I thought of Harvey Specter, but I also thought, and this is not in the legal field, this is more on the PR aspect of things. When I look at you, I think of Olivia Pope. That's the person that I had in mind.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
With my white hat.
Yes, in your white hat.
Yeah.
Now, last but not least, you've met a lot of people in different, as I said, in different walks of life. You've had a lot of expertise. What has been the best advice that you have received to date? It could be personal, it could be professional.
Well, I would say the best advice that I've ever received is not everything needs a reaction.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Not everything needs a reaction. Sometimes it's just best to sit back and observe. When you sit back and observe, you see a lot of things that under normal circumstances you would not have seen or you would not have picked. And then you realize that maybe the reaction that you would have taken would not have been appropriate, looking back from everything that you have observed. So I think it's a very calming thing to do, and it gives you best results, rather. So
interesting. Yeah. Well, this has been fun. I know you were apprehensive at first doing this interview, but I'm really, really delighted. And before we end this interview, I share that you're my aunt, but we're more like cousins. But I also didn't share how much you have inspired me to the person that I am. I think I always tell you how growing up, the first time I met you, you're one of those aunts that I met when I was a little bit older. You were studying at Kilakala. That's when we were introduced, and it was instilled on us. You need to grow up and be like Helen. You need to grow up. Other than the fact that I'm like, if I go to Kilakala or a boarding school like this, my mentality or chips in because my mom always packing good things for you. But maybe just watching you, how much you have grown into the person that you are, because I've seen you from Kilakala to now you having this legal firm. You've been such an inspiration, and I wanted to make sure that I say this out in public, that thank you. And most importantly, when I started this journey as a YouTuber, you've been very, very supportive of me. You're one of the people who believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. So thank you so much. I hope the knowledge that you've instilled in me, the confidence that you've instilled in me, I hope you also instill in other people, and I hope God returns that favor in multitudes. Thank you so much.
Oh, that is so nice. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. With that said, thank you so much for tuning in with Evolve with Natu. Until next time, thank you so much for joining in, and have a great day.